Hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me on a short Sunday afternoon session on the banks of the Belmont complex and we're on Oak Pool. Before we get into this week's blog, I'd just like to thank everybody that's left such nice comments on the recent vlogs on the channel. Your support on the channel really is appreciated. If you are new around here, feel free to hit the subscribe button below. There's a new video every Friday at 6 PM. So getting to the venue at midday on Sunday, I've decided to set up on Oak Pool. It's the one that is furthest away from the car park, and with that, it's one of the quietest. The pool does hold carp in single figures with the odd low double, so it's going to be great fun today if we do hook one on the Waggler. The float rod that I'm using is the Korum Glide power float rod at 12 to 14 foot. Regulars on the channel will have seen me use it for chub, dace and roach, and today I'm hoping to get a carp on it. So I've got my Shimano Techium reel, and on there I've got 4 pound 4 ounce float fish. That goes down simply to a loaded Waggler held in place with 2 BB Dinsmore egg shots. I haven't got any hook link on today because the pool behind me is normally covered in lilies and them stems will be on the bottom, so I'm fishing it straight through, and I've just got a little number 4 egg shot down to a size 16 micro barbed hook. You can see behind me from the intro, the pool is situated right next to a road, so I do apologise for any noise on the vlog. Let's take a look at the side tray, the swim, and let's make a start. So the side tray for today, really simple. Regulars to the channel will have seen the session fishing for bream and silvers on Village Pool, and this is basically just a bait that I've got left the next day. So we've got some pellets, red maggot and pinkies. We've got the float rod set up, and just in case they're not having it on the float rod, I have set up a feeder rod to fish a method feeder. You know, if a sea fish topping against the far bank and they're not having it on the float, then it gives us options. So it's a beautiful day to be on the bank, blue skies, a bit of sun, and that is really what's made me come through today. Looking at Oak Pool, you can see it looks like any other pool, but if you come on here in 2 months time or a month's time, there's lily beds all the way around that come up to the top, and it is a beautiful looking pool. That is the reason I'm fishing the 4 pound line straight through, because I know some of the stems are going to be on the bottom. The plan for the session, I'm hoping just to stay on the Waggler, and if you see that white water there, round about there, that's where I'm going to be feeding me maggots. Not too far out, just a gentle, comfortable cast, so you're not too far that you're at the end of where you can cast. You want to be within your means. I'm going to mess around. It's only a short session, and my mindset is going to be about getting them fish in the area. It's only a small pool, but I want all the fish in it to know that right here there's bait going in. Just into the first one on the Waggler. It's taken probably 20 minutes of just drip feeding those maggots over the top, and it was great to see that float just disappear away. Like all the fish on the Belmont complex, in absolutely fine fettle, whether they're 2 or 22 pound. It's a great little start to the session. Only a short one. It's about 1 o'clock now, and we've only got till about 5 or 6 o'clock. So one thing that has been noticeable after that first carp, there was no signs, there was no bubbles, there was no, signs that there was fish in the swim. Sometimes you've just got to trust your gut instinct that what you're doing is right, because it can be very hard to continue to fire 5 and 6 maggots every 30 seconds in a swim, if you're not seeing any signs. But sometimes, like I said, you've just got to go with your gut instinct, and that float bolted away and there wasn't a single sign there was a carp in the area. So it's taken probably another 15 minutes and just into another one. The pool normally is covered in lilies, so you just feel it going from lily bed to lily bed really as they're beneath the surface. You can't see the snags obviously because they're just growing beneath, so he just keeps going from one to the next really. But what great fun on the Waggler. A lovely bend in the rod, and it's done me well for dace and roach and chub, but it's good to get a solid bend in it. And you can see there how it just plucked off those lily beds that are under the water. And when you look at the size of the mouth, even on a carp like this, you can see feeding those maggots that we've been feeding heavily really is nothing. It could hoover them up in no time. And there we go. What a stunning little carp that is. Scale pattern, dark back, beautiful fish, and a great battle on that float rod. Not the longest vlog today, but what fun I'm having just using up some of those maggots from another session. Let's get this beautiful fish straight back. So on the way back to the car, you see the car park is literally only there. Missed 2 bites on the float, and these sessions really do get away from you. And the days fly by. Only a short session, so I decided the last hour I'd use some of the pellets I've got left over and just have a cheeky cast underneath the willow. On the way back to the car, just popped out the method feeder, but into another carp. It's been enjoyable today on the Waggler, but them boils of spring and a carp on the end. Great fun. Catching them 2 carp on the float was great fun, and there's certainly going to be more of that on the channel in the weeks to come, whether it's for silvers or carp. But coming past Willow on the way back to the car, a spare hour and that feeder rod good to go, managed to pick up this beautiful carp. If this is the last carp of the vlog, I hope you enjoyed it. It's like the session, only a short one, but that's what we do sometimes. Sometimes we go for a while, and sometimes it's just a short afternoon session. Let's get this beautiful carp straight back. So that carp returned. It was well worth the decision just to stop off on this pool and have 1 cheeky cast, wasn't it? But of course that leads to 2 cheeky casts, and hopefully we can pick up 1 more. So with that little bit of wind, as you can see, all the stuff off the bottom where the carp have been, you know, feeding, and the warmer weather has started to move, so it's got 1 more cheeky cast. But it has been an enjoyable short session on the bank, just using up bait that would otherwise gone in the freezer or thrown away. And I just love sneaking in these little sessions here and there. It's all about time on the bank, fresh air, the sun on your back, and getting a bend in the rod. So the missus has only been on the phone 3 times this evening, asking when I'm going to be home and get them jobs done. But like all anglers, you suffer the consequences just to hear that real screaming and a bend in the rod. No doubt gonna suffer for this insubordination, but it's just part of being an angler. And a disclaimer, if this is the last Danny's Angling vlog, thank you all for the support. It's much appreciated. Rest in pieces. So how about that for the beautiful carp to end the vlog on? We are most certainly in the doghouse, and as disasters go, I've just seen another carp moving in that scum. I'm tempted to have 1 more cast, but already in the doghouse. We'll get this fish straight back. If it is the last fish of the vlog, I want to wish you all tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next week. I'm going to get the fish back and contemplate 1 more cast. I shouldn't, but I so should.